Uncharted is one of my favorite PlayStation titles of all time. It was number one before The Last of Us, and then The Last of Us took the top spot, but Uncharted is certainly right under that as number two favorite PlayStation game of all time. And with that being said, guys, Uncharted is a title I believe that needs to have a continuation. Not that, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End wasn't a great conclusion to Nathan Drake's story. I just think that there's more to be offered there. And sure, we've had continuations in one capacity or another, but I want to talk about Uncharted 5. Everything that we know about this title, the rumblings, rumors, speculation of what could be Uncharted 5. So let's talk about it. So in an article, guys, written by Richard Warren of Game Rant, recent reports have claimed that a new Uncharted was being worked on, but the game is going to be facing one massive challenge if it happens. Back in 2017, the final Uncharted game released, with Uncharted Lost Legacy serving as an epilogue of sorts for the beloved action-adventure series. Focusing on Chloe Fraser, Nathan Drake's former partner, the story saw Chloe becoming a hero in her own right. A year prior, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End brought an end to Nathan Drake's story, with the game received well by critics and adored by fans. So let me just put it to you like this. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, I believe, should have actually come out last. I think that Lost Legacy kind of put like a sour taste in my mouth, at least, for the end of Uncharted, essentially. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End I thought was incredible. I thought was a great way to kind of end that segment of the story. Lost Legacy I thought was a step in the wrong direction. That being said, though, all it takes, guys, is one game to go in a bad direction, and it takes one game to go back into a really good place, and I think Uncharted 5 could certainly do that. But what about Nathan Drake's story here? Well, let's talk about it. Uncharted 5 rumors have been prevalent since the launch of the PlayStation 5, with many fans holding out hope that there was some legitimacy to the murmurs. While it would make sense given the upcoming film and the franchise's overall success on the Sony platform, no serious evidence was provided for the game's existence. However, that since has changed, as a major report from Bloomberg and Jason Schreier recently confirmed that the game was being worked on. At some point in time, an Uncharted game was being made with Bend Studios serving as the developer. This move made sense as the developer behind Days Gone had also made the solid PlayStation Vita title Uncharted Golden Abyss. However, Bend Studio apparently asked to be removed from the project, aiming to make its own game instead. While this is exciting for fans of Bend, as a lot can be done with a new IP, the supposed Uncharted game is now in limbo. Jason Schreier, the journalist that broke the news, is uncertain the game is going into development elsewhere. So with that being said, guys, it makes a lot of sense that Uncharted, even though everyone knows it to be Naughty Dog is, all hands on deck with The Last of Us Part 2, with the multiplayer and things of that nature, most likely, The Last of Us 3. So an Uncharted 5 would probably be done by someone else. And that kind of gives you hesitation. However, though, I would love to see Uncharted return, in some capacity or another. So, big part here is surviving without Nathan Drake. A major part of what made Uncharted such a success was its protagonist, as Nathan Drake has become one of PlayStation's most popular characters over the years. Played brilliantly by Nolan North, the character's wit and lighthearted nature make him extremely likable, allowing gamers to root for him every step of the way. However, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End was designed around giving the character closure, ending his journey on the right note and allowing him to retire happily with his wife and daughter. That being said, though, my thought has been, guys, Uncharted 5, I believe Nathan Drake passes the torch, so to speak, onto his daughter. So go a number of years into the future, he passes the torch on to his daughter. Nathan Drake's still there, but the story continues, kind of like a God of War kind of style where, we got Kratos, but we also have his son, and I believe that they're going to pass the torch from Kratos onto his son, and then you play his son at some point in the future in the upcoming God of War titles. I believe the same could be said here. You got Nathan Drake there. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, Gears of War. You had Marcus Phoenix as the main character. He passes the torch in Gears 4 to his son, right? So JD Phoenix you play as, and then he passes the torch of course, to Kate Diaz in Gears 5. And so I really like it when you still have those characters, though. They're in the background. They're just not the playable character anymore. You can still play as them in multiplayer and such. But I think that seeing that transition is something I think really would be awesome for Uncharted 5. With Uncharted 4, Thief's End's brilliant ending, meant to be a send-off for Nathan Drake, honoring that conclusion would be a wise idea. As such, whichever developer takes on the next game could focus on a supporting character or reboot the series entirely. With the reboot, a developer runs the risk of players not connecting with the new lead hero like they did with Nathan Drake. Even if they do, the two characters would constantly be compared, with a brand new character unable to escape from the legendary treasure hunter's shadow. So, I don't want to see another Lost Legacy. That is for sure, guys. I don't want to see another spin-off of that. I would much rather see Nathan Drake, maybe a story around it's a number of years later and someone's coming after Nathan Drake for, all that he's got because of, his years of treasure hunting and things of that nature. And his daughter is there kind of following her in her dad's footsteps. And then, boom, you go on to this crazy adventure where she's there with her dad to, take over whatever it is, right? Go back into the treasure hunting, atmosphere almost. And I think that would be something really special. So what would damage the legacy of Uncharted? Because that's certainly something that we don't want to have happen. I do think, though, that Lost Legacy started to kind of hurt it a little bit, even though it didn't damage it that much. When people think of Uncharted, they likely think of Nathan Drake, something that makes replacing him a major challenge. As such, there's a chance that the character comes back in a new game, as it would be the quickest way to get longtime fans invested again, with Nolan North willing to return to the role and fans still loving the character just as much as they always gave. There is plenty of potential for the reappearance to take place. At the same time, it may not be for the best decision in terms of storytelling, as it goes against a lot of what Naughty Dog tried to do with the character in his last appearance. Look, and here's the thing. I think if you had Uncharted 5, you have the daughter there. Maybe you play Nathan Drake one last time and he passes the torch on to his daughter in the game, and then you play as her. Something, could be really, really cool, that even Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us Part 2, playing different characters and things of that nature. Uncharted 5 is in a tough position, as the question of whether Nathan Drake should be brought back into the mix is impossible to avoid. While a soft reboot can be attempted where players control Cassie, it is hard to believe that Nate would let her adventure on her own. At the same time, a spin-off or full reboot has the tough task of telling a satisfying story without Nathan Drake. As such, while there is reason to be excited about more Uncharted content, it is hard to deny that the next game is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Uncharted 5 is not confirmed to be in development. So look, guys, here's the thing. I believe that they definitely could go into a great direction with the daughter, Nathan Drake's daughter, and Nathan Drake himself, where they go on this adventure together. For whatever reason, he passes the torch on to her, and she becomes the new main character. And hopefully within that, as long as it's cast well and all of that, we really love her character, and then it kind of leads us into the next generation of Uncharted titles. That would be the direction I would want to go in as far as Uncharted is concerned. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, though, in the comment section down below. Where do you guys want to see Uncharted go? Let me know. And for more Uncharted 5 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.